Nicole Malliotakis, Republican, New York. Congresswoman, your mother is Cuban, exiled by the Castro dictatorship. Is Cuba and its what looks like its imminent collapse, is that a political opportunity for Trump?
Days of the Biden administration, the Cuban people rose up, and the Biden administration failed to provide satellite internet, which would have shown the world the atrocities, the abuse, young children being beaten in the streets by armed forces and also being jailed. This is an opportunity where the Cuban people right now are starving. They are absolutely desperate. They can't even provide their daily, rations that they give the people in bread and rice and beans. That's how bad it is. There's no medicine on the island. And there is an opportunity here between President Trump and Senator, our now Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who's very passionate about this issue as well. They can easily provide, using Starlink with Elon Musk, satellite necessary to expose. Right now, it's very limited, the information that goes to the people and the information that is provided to the world. And so we need to show our friends, our allies who actually do work with Cuba, that they are supporting this horrific communist regime, and all democracies should stand together to finally liberate the Cuban people. Let them rise up. Let's expose what is happening on this island, and hopefully they'll bring a change which will benefit everybody.
Should we give them any money?
Well, I think when it comes to the rebuilding, not now, certainly, when it comes, right now, any money you would give them would go to the regime. Remember, the regime, they live like kings and queens while the people there are starving. It is a very desperate situation. Maybe the world community does want to come together to help a free Cuba in its aftermath modernize. And there'll be a lot of opportunities, by the way, for the private sector to then go in there and invest. It doesn't need to be government taxpayer money. Private sector will go in there, and they will have a economic renaissance once they are a free nation.
Who's going to get rid of the regime? How do you affect regime change?
Well, look, it needs to be from the people at the end of the day. Now, we can be supportive, certainly. I mean, we're doing that with Ukraine. We could be supportive in a way, but it really has to stem from the people. And the world needs to see what's happening there. And right now is limited information that comes out of that island because they have restricted internet that is run by the government. The way we can be most helpful right now is providing a satellite internet service so the world can see how they are being abused on that island. And I think that in itself, freedom-loving countries around the world will rally around the people and push that regime out.
I'm going to change the subject for a second. Congressman, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he told a group of investors that Trump's tax cuts could be approved by July the 4th. Is that a realistic time frame?
I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. That's always been the timeline I had in my head. We're working now when we get back to put these bills, the different committees mark up the bills, and we'll see what happens once we get out of that committee phase. It will take a couple of months, I do believe, to negotiate between the different factions and the different interests within our party, but I do believe it can get done. And look, it needs to get done. The sooner the better, because then we will see the economic benefits of this bill, which we need to before the next election, right? So the American people see that what we did was the right thing. And so I'm hopeful about that. I think it can get done.
Well, Wall Street is listening very carefully, and they want nothing more than those tax cuts. They're desperate to get them. Nicole Malliotakis, Congresswoman, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. See you soon.
Thank you.
Still ahead, we have Mark T.